This is the Seven Figure Agency Podcast. Discover the strategies and techniques to grow a highly successful and profitable digital marketing agency with your host, Josh Nelson.
On this video, I want to share the top podcasts for digital marketing agency owners. So if you're an agency owner and you want to stay on the cutting edge of what's happening with digital marketing agencies, marketing automation, where the digital marketing is going, these are the podcasts I recommend you listen to. Check it out. So there's lots of great podcasts and lots of great information about digital marketing. I want to share some of the digital marketing podcasts specific to running an agency, growing an agency, and remaining on the cutting edge. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the Seven Figure Agency podcast, because on that podcast, I share some of my best ideas and strategies on how we've grown our digital marketing agency to over $5 million per year, how we've helped over 118 digital marketing agencies grow to seven figures and multiple seven figures for cumulative revenue of over $250 million in annualized revenue. I also interview highly successful agencies from across the country on what they're doing to land clients, deliver results, retain, and scale. And so I highly recommend, if you're looking for a great podcast, you check out the Seven Figure Agency podcast at sevenfigureagency.com/podcast. It's available on Apple iTunes, Spotify, and all of your favorite podcast platforms. Now, of course, there's other great podcasters and other great thought leaders that I'm going to recommend that I suggest you tune in and check out. So there's a great podcast called Small Steady Steps that is a great podcast that shares lots of ideas on growing and scaling your digital marketing agency. One of the longtime known experts in growing an agency is Jason Swank from the Smart Agency podcast. He's got a great podcast. He talks about a lot of different aspects of growing, scaling, and taking your digital marketing agency to the next level. Build a Better Agency with Drew McClellan. Great podcast, really gets into great strategies around profitability, around client retention, around the ins and the outs of growing a truly successful digital marketing agency. The Growth Show by HubSpot, not as specific to agencies, but I'm a big fan of HubSpot, their thought material, and their podcast is great, called The Growth Show. When it comes to SEO, one of the biggest names in the industry is Neil Patel. He's got an amazing podcast called Marketing School. So this isn't 100% agency specific, but if you want to be on the cutting edge of what's changing in digital marketing with SEO, with all of the different aspects of it, this is a great podcast to listen to. I'm a huge fan of Gary Vee, the Gary Vee Experience. He's got a great podcast. Anytime you can sit down and listen to a couple minutes of Gary Vee, you're going to be inspired, you're going to be motivated, and you're going to get some great insights and ideas on how to grow and scale. The Social Media Marketing with Michael Stelzner from the Social Examiner, a little bit more social specific, Facebook ads, Twitter, X, Instagram, lots of great information and content there. John Jantsch from Duct Tape Marketing. He's got an amazing book, if you haven't ever read it, called Duct Tape Marketing. He does also talking a lot about building a CMO type business, which is more marketing strategy and how to be a chief marketing officer. Lots of great content and information there to level up how you think about marketing, not just in the digital sphere, but across the entire spectrum of how to generate better results for your clients. And number 10 on my list here would be Edge of the Web SEO podcast. Just a great podcast, lots of great SEO specific information. These are the first 10. I've got a list of 20 of my favorite podcasts I would invite you to go check out. If you'd like to get the full list with the link so that you can add this straight to your favorite podcast RSS feed, you can go to sevenfigureagency.com/top-podcasts. I'll be adding to this as I get new podcasts that I start listening to that I think are great and relevant to the agency growth experience. So that's sevenfigureagency.com/top-podcasts. Let me know in the comments, is there an agency-specific podcast you listen to that you love, that you get tons of value from? If so, please let me know that in the comments. And I look forward to talking with you again real soon.